Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have Faraz Ahmed. We will be talking to him about his experience in Pakistan, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Faraz has his bachelor's in journalism from Sindh Madrasatul Islam in Karachi, and later he moved to Germany for his master studies. And now he's working as a designer and a communication specialist in United Kingdom. We'll be hearing from him why he chose Germany, what is the present situation in United Kingdom, about the professional opportunities there, and also about the present situation of Corona, because UK is also one of the country which has hit hard, unfortunately, because of the COVID situations currently. And we will be also talking to him about the opportunities he now sees in United Kingdom, the challenges he has faced in the three countries, or actually Pakistan, Germany, and United Kingdom. Also the similarities. What kind of similarities do he see in these countries? So first of all, I would like to welcome you, Faraz, in our show.
Thank you so much, Irfan.
Faraz, I would first of all want to start our discussion with your life in Karachi, traveling in the decorated buses over there, one of your feet inside the bus and one of your feet flying in the air, because of usually the buses in Karachi are jam-packed, especially on the routes you travel, the University Road. How do you see that life, and what would you like to tell about your life in Karachi?
Irfan, the life over there is quite different than we have in the European or in European countries. That's quite different, I would say. And I think it's a very lively experience over there because you spend your childhood and a very big portion of your life in a specific country. Like for me, it was Karachi, Pakistan. So the association with that country is quite different as compared to any other country, and that would never change, I would say, for the rest of my life. So living there was quite a great experience. The best part over there was being with a family. That's, sometimes it's very missing when you move out to any other country in Europe or somewhere else. So the element of family, that's always missing whenever you move out to other countries, I would say.
Mhm. I totally agree with you. Missing home is quite natural for students and professionals who are working out of their home and living abroad. This is one of the biggest challenge, if
That's
I'm
true.
not wrong, for the people who live abroad and work there, and sometimes they can't even travel to their country for years. What do you say about this?
I mean, it's unfortunate because of this corona, like people who want to travel and go back to their countries or their homes, they are very unlucky to go in this time period. But I see that in the next 1.5 year, the traveling would be very less. And there are a couple of other issues that make people unable to travel, like the one that's related to their studies. Because I was a student, then it's very hard to manage to go back during the semester time period. You can only go when you have a semester break or when you have less lectures. Otherwise, if you come to the professional side, taking the leaves and going out on a very fair basis, that makes the job really difficult. So I think arranging the time was even difficult before, but now due to this situation, it will be much harder for the people to go on a regular basis, or let's say once or twice a year. That would make the life more difficult now.
Faraz, please tell us how the COVID situation in Britain has affected its society, because British and the European countries are societies where it is quite dependent on the current market situations. People usually buy all their stuffs from markets. The production is very less in the cities, and most of the people are living in cities in European countries. So, and also it's a very quite a business society, where if the business doesn't work, so which is highly dependent on mobility across the world, so if it doesn't work, the whole economic and the employment market is affected. How do you see this situation presently in United Kingdom?
Because I was a recent graduate when I came to UK, and going to a job market was very difficult. Having a restriction in the experience and difference of languages, difference of culture. These were all the obstacles that I had before going to a market job. Plus, having this situation, that made all the situation quite worse because there was not opening for the job market to go into it. And it was very hard to get into the job market because all the openings, I would say, when I was applying after my master's degree, when I was applying to different companies, they even put on a hold the openings they were looking for the candidates. So then it was quite challenging, especially in the first quarter of this year. And nowadays, I think like from the last month, it started to ease it down. And now the things are getting back to the normal, not as normal as it was before, but to a great extent. I mean, the shops are opening back, the big malls, they are opening back. The transportation, the public transportation is on its way. In UK, the situation is getting better now. I would say in this month especially, because there are quite less number of cases and life is getting back on the track. As far as going to the job market, I think it will take a couple of more months to you know that the situation came back for the job market in the UK.
Faraz, since I know that you moved from Germany, you actually first moved from Pakistan to Germany for your higher education, and later you moved from um, United Kingdom for the professional opportunities, and you're presently working there as a marketing manager in the communication department. So, how do you see this transition from Germany to UK, and what were the difficulties or the challenges you faced in Germany, maybe that compelled you to move to UK, or how do you see this
Let's
transition over there?
starting from Pakistan, from Karachi to Ilmenau, where I was studying my masters. So this transition was one of the biggest transition in my whole life. I mean, moving to in a different country, in a different culture, in every way, it was quite different as compared to Karachi. So I went there for my studies for doing my masters there, and the experience over there, Germany was phenomenal. I mean, we have heard so many, I would say, rumors about the country, but when we spent our time there, it was a very nice and a marvelous city. And I know I would say Germany is really quite marvelous country in the world, especially for the students. They should go there. The experience you'll get there is one of the best experiences of your life. So I would say going to Germany provide me with a different mentality, with a different thing, with a different level of thinking, I would say. So now you see things from a different perspective. That's all on a whole level. While coming back to the studies and research levels, because we are more associated with the research studies there, the way they taught all the courses was quite great. I mean, the professors, the teachers, the staff, they were really cooperative with the international students. I would say they are always there to help you out. And the barrier, I would say, that's not a barrier, but it was my own lack that I should have paid attention. Maybe when I was in Karachi, when I was thinking to move to Germany, that I should have done a few courses and had a good command over the German language. I mean, I would say for the new upcoming students, for the upcoming people who are moving or planning to move to Germany, they should know a little bit of the German language. That makes the life easy to get into the society really quickly. So other than that, because I afterwards I moved from Ilmenau to Mannheim, and I spent a year over there. And it was a big city, and I was working with a multinational pharmaceutical company over there. And language was not as big issue as it was in a small town or small cities. So I mean, it's always better to learn about the culture. And when you come to the culture, language is one of the very important component. So, I mean, I would say the language was a quite a big barrier for me, especially in Germany. Other than that, I really spent a marvelous time there. I learned a lot when it comes to study for my professional level, for visiting so many different countries, exploring with my friends. And when I moved to UK, the first relief I would say was the language. I mean, I can easily communicate with anyone. So that was very ease for me that I would like. I mean, I really enjoy that I at least at a place where I can speak and express myself freely in a language that they understand, and they can communicate in a language that I can understand. And I mean, as far as the living style and structure wise, both countries are quite same, but I think Germany is a bit more advanced when it comes to the infrastructure as compared to the UK. So, but I would say the language that made my life really easy over here.
I agree with you that UK, we have usually in Pakistan, students coming from Pakistan, they have English as their academic language, and even in Germany, you studied your courses in English. So I assume that made you things easy to get settled in the United Kingdom.
That's true.
Faraz, let's talk something about the differences in the culture over these three countries, or probably yeah, in general, the two countries, but in specific, there are differences in UK. There are big differences even in the culture of United Kingdom and Germany as well. Although a lot of people see the two countries from one lens of European, but when you come to Europe, there are big differences. One of the biggest difference is the language that the two countries spoke. So how do you see the difference in the culture from Pakistan to the rest of the Europe, and within the Europe, you have traveled to different countries, and specifically these two countries?
Mhm. You're very right, because from a Pakistani lens, from a perspective of as a Pakistani, we see them all as one. Like for us, it's Europe. Europe comes with so many countries, even though these countries have their own cultures and their own representations. But for these two countries, I think on a very individual level, I find people there, they are quite much similar to each other. I mean, they are very much cooperative. The thing that really I really like in these countries, that the people, they are really cooperative. They are not in a hassle. They are not in a, in a rush. They want to help you. They want to help you out, especially to the students. They are always there to help them out. I mean, this thing makes them really special. So from my own experiences, I find it like very strange for the first times when it was happening, that the people, they are willing to help you out whenever you're in a struggle, whenever they are always willing to help you out. I mean, there are some exceptions everywhere it happen, but on a whole level, on a general level, they are very helping people over here.
Faraz, once you told me about one of, I would say, a different experience, and obviously it was a ridiculous experience with you. While you're traveling within Germany, or maybe you're coming somewhere from abroad to Germany, and you messed up with the schedules, the Flix bus schedules, and at midnight you stuck somewhere at the bus station. Can you please tell about that story? What was there, and how did you manage at midnight?
There are so many experiences like this. I mean, whenever you're traveling, if you're late just 1 minute, you miss your train or your bus. You know that very well. So, like, there are so many experiences. Like, I was traveling with my wife, and I thought the Flex bus station is somewhere near where I was roaming around. And when it was time and I went there, and I saw that there was no Flixbus station. And when I checked the ticket, it was like 1 hour away from where I was standing. So, and we just landed in Berlin, and it was very strange experience. And I was in a rush because when I'm alone, it's a different situation. When you're with a family and with someone, then it's a different. So then I quickly called the Flixbus, and their friendly gesture is, you can you can judge from it, like they just cancel the previous ticket and they issue me a new ticket, and then I don't have to pay anything. So, like, the way they work, they want to make your life easy, especially when you're in a rush situation. So it was very great experience, and I was really amazed that I was not at the same spot, and the bus station was like 1 hour away from there. And I really liked when they helped me out in this situation. And she also briefed me like how to go there, even which tram and which bus to take to go on the bus stop.
Mm. Let's stick to the cultural similarities or the differences a little bit more. When you see from the German perspective, the two cultures, the Germany and UK, where it's easy to interact with the people, with the wider society. Even in Germany, there are different regions where people have different attitude toward different like people in general. How do you see this level of interaction, since you also studied in a small city in Germany and later you are in a big city there in United Kingdom? How do you see in general the people's responsiveness towards the people in these two countries?
Yeah, as I said before, like here, because it's a plus point for me that I know the language. That makes the things very easy. You know, the communication, there's no communication gap. So I think for me, on a personal level, communicating and living in this culture is slightly more easier than it was in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, this is not only the people's attitude, but it also depends on the language. Yeah, because in Germany, most of the people do speak German, and then when you don't speak German, then it's a bit
Small,
difficult. Yeah.
a small city, that's I would like to add it here. When you're in a small city, then it's more challenging. Because when you move out to some big cities, even within the Germany, because it's more metropolitan, like people from different cultures over there already, then I think it's a bit more relaxing. But when you're in a small city, I think you must know the languages to make your life easy.
Mhm. Faraz, you are now working as in a communication department, and you have also gone through the job application processes. So, being a communication student, yeah, you studied journalism in Pakistan. So, like I also studied international relations in Pakistan. Maybe you are a little bit more familiar about the communication than me when you started your graduate studies. Because when I was in Pakistan, the 2 or 3 fields I knew in communication was marketing, public relations, and journalism. That's it for me. But when I studied here later, that like there was a huge like a tunnel open to me, having communication involved in all sectors of the society. So you are now working as a communication expert. So for the students who want to study communication or who are studying communication at the moment, what skills they should acquire to have a better position or to have an easy adjustment and settling down in the job market?
So the two most important thing I would say here for the upcoming students, the number one, they need to have a mindset. They should be clear in their mind they want to be in this field. So that will make their life really easy and they can explore much better. And you know, you need to have a direction where you're going. You should know where you will end up at the end of the day. So I think for the upcoming students, a very nice field, especially in the European countries, the communication, it's quite in demanding as compared to Pakistan. Because as you said, like in Pakistan, it's like very challenging because the fields is very narrow. You have just number of few opportunities to get into it, but now it's also exploring thanks to the social media. Like you know, there's so many jobs opening in the communications department because of so many social media channels. Plus, in the European countries, as you said, there are tons of opportunities for the social scientist. If you're good in research, if you're good in communicating, if you're good in writing, copywriting, and if you are have a craze of marketing, then you have a great opportunity to get into these fields, and maybe you can switch in between the fields as well. So when you just applying, as you said, it was quite challenging for me, especially when I land my first internship in Mannheim. So it was quite challenging for me. You know, every day you have to repeat the same process, and sometimes it's really exhausting. When you see the job descriptions and then you realize you're meeting like let's say 7 out of 10, but the three things that would take ages for you to overcome, let's say the language barrier, let's say if any other skill, computer related is still skill, that will take a quite a lot of time. And when you're short on time, that's that's the way, that's the time when you rush. For that, I would recommend to be very much consistent. I mean, you don't have to lose hope and faith, Just try with all your heart and in every best possible way. So you need to be very clear in your mind, and you need to be persistent in order to land a great job opportunity. But I would say it's quite exhausting, and you need to think in a creative way when you're applying for different jobs, and especially in a country where you don't speak language in a great way. So I mean, once you land the opportunity, you will have an experience, a great experience with great minds of the world. I can, I can say without any hesitation. So that would be a great experience for you, but you need to be very much persistent.
Mhm. Uh, let's go back a little bit to the process when you were applying for admissions here in Germany. What were the things in your mind over there when you were applying for the admissions over there, and like how did you overcome those challenges while applying to the applications to the admissions here in different universities?
That's true. I already had in mind when I was in the last year of my bachelor's, I already had in mind to have a foreign degree for my master's. So it was at the back of my mind somewhere. So when I finished, I was working in an advertising agency for 2 years. And in the last quarter of my second year, I thought maybe just start applying to different universities. And for my field, as you know as well, because you're in the same course, uh, there are very less universities in Germany. So far, to my knowledge, there's only one university on a public level that that have this course in English. So the bracket was quite tight, and it was the only university to have this course in English. And then the getting the paperwork done, it also a exhausting process. You need to have everything in a very systematic way. You need to be very much organized because you have to send papers, scan copies, and every different. There are so many documents, and even the IELTS test you have to give it. So then I think you need to be well prepared for all of this process. And for those students who are applying at the moment, I would suggest them to have at least 3 to 4 months apply to a different university, and then give them all the documents they need. It's not very much challenging. I mean, gathering the document is not a problem because if you have everything ready beforehand, like you need to get a degree attested from, let's say in my case, from Karachi University. If you go there, it will take like 1 or 2 months for get this document done, and then you have to attest from HAC, then metric board office, inter board office. So if you do all these things on time beforehand, then it will save plenty of your time. And if you leave everything for the last moments, okay, when I apply, I'll just get all these things done. So then it will take at least half a year of you, like 6 months.
I agree with you. Starting the things well in time helps you get prepared for the your application process, especially the degree attestation, and preparing the documents well in time, because this is something you have to do. Like attesting the intermediate degree, it has no timeline. Yeah, you can go and get it done anytime. And yeah, I would also say that students who are applying for Germany or other countries, they should start well in time, start discussing with the people around them. That today there is like Facebook and other social media sites where you can have different communities having groups where you can post your questions, get answered. So this is like a very globalized world today where you can have your answers within minutes. With this, we are going to end our sessions very soon. We also like to thank all those people who were with us during this show. I would like to request all of you to like our page and share this post so that other students or other professionals who are looking for similar information can benefit from this discussion. With this, I would like to thank you. Faraz, would you like to have a quick message for our viewers?
Yeah, I'll start a message from you. Like, you look very nice and decent by wearing a nice
Thank you
tie,
so much.
and you look so
Thank you.
smart and sharp, by the way.
Thank
And
you.
the second thing, for the students who are applying for European countries for having a foreign degree, They should be persistent. I wish them all the very good luck. And you you start step by step. Take the baby step, move forward, and then you set a new goal and then achieve it. So it's very easy. Once you're in the direction, you build a momentum and you just keep on going. So I wish them very good luck and thank you so much, Irfan, for your time.
Thank you so much to you, Faraz, for having with us and giving your precious time on this beautiful weekend. I hope there is a sunny day out there in UK as well. Yeah.
That's true. It's really nice weather outside.
Yeah. So I hope you having a good time with your family and friends over there, and wish you all the best for your future endeavors in your profession. And we'll be staying in touch for more discussion on the similar topics. And thank you so much once again. And goodbye to all of you. Have a nice weekend.
Bye bye.